Me, as a health researcher, this is a really critical question. So, thinking and talking about that gap between our research evidence and then when that evidence finds its way into practice. So, as I already mentioned, my background is in nursing, which is an evidence-informed practice profession. So, this is something that, having taught research and also doing research myself, and then being a healthcare practitioner, that has been top of mind. And I think it's something that had compelled me early on in my research career, even before we were required to begin sort of integrating very clear knowledge translation plans in our grant applications, to be thinking about different ways to share information, just simply because of the fact that I had recognized that there is this gap between what we know and then what finds its way into practice. And in the context of my research, more specifically, as I had talked about in an earlier thread, I was finding that a lot of employers were appealing to me and an interest group that I'm a part of to try and get help to understand how to address this problem. So it was clear there was a need within the employment and public and even government sector, but that getting that evidence to them could be challenging. And also I understood that the traditional ways, or I was starting to recognize the traditional ways of sharing information by getting up and talking about this through presentations or writing a peer-reviewed article and submitting it to a journal. While those remain important and critical, they just weren't the right kinds of information, or the kind of information that I think all audiences, including more public and professional, including the employer audience, which is one that was of interest to me, resonated with a lot. So, again, it got me thinking about how can we sort of disrupt this large gap between evidence and practice by maybe being able to share our findings in a more compelling and clear and maybe easily understood way.